Hello everybody, Iain Robson here. Welcome back to Valley East, USA. Alright, we got a couple things going on today. If you recall from the previous episode, we were dealing with some plums, and they have been sold, and they're good to go. So one of the things that we've been kind of dealing with, or trying to deal with, is this field right down here. This guy right here. Let's just hop into our truck, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, the field I'm referring to is this guy just to the south of us here. And the problem is we have these bales that have been sitting here for quite a long while. And we have a crisis on our hands, because as you can see it's going to rain soon. So because we have the bale extension on, the bales will actually decrease in quality if we don't do something with them. So what we're going to do is this. Now, I'm going to take a small loan out, so I'm going to borrow just 5,000, that's it. And what we're going to do with that 5,000 is we're going to buy the autostacker. I totally forgot that we had an autostacker only for 5,000. So we're going to go ahead and buy this, and then we're going to sell the bales. Now, as I mentioned before, we could use other means of collecting the bales, like technically this will do it as well, but it's not as realistic, so I'm going to go ahead and get the autostacker. Perfect. And having said that, we have the truck right here. In reality, would the truck be able to pull the autostacker? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. How do you think the autostacker would get delivered to a farmer? I'm curious. I'm assuming it would be assembled. I want to say it'd be assembled at least. Yeah, I think it would be actually, because that's the only really way you could do it in realities, because you don't have many other options actually. Mainly because of the size of the. We'll leave that there for the time being. Mainly because of the size of the thing. In reality, like it's they're huge, huge pieces of machinery. What we'll do is we'll drop off these gravity wagons just on the side over here, mainly because they're attached together already, and they are a pain to try and attach to each other again. There we go. And let's take our 8400 and we'll go pick up the autostacker. I haven't used this thing for a long time actually. I know there are some mod versions of the autostacker actually that will allow you to collect more bales. I know there are a few versions of it. I don't know which version is the best, but the in-game one works fairly well. Like, it's funny when you think about it, like, it's hard to find actually. I'll say it this way. It's hard to find good mods that reach the quality of that Farms or Giants has made. It really blows my mind. There aren't many out there that are really super top notch. Like this mod right here that I'm in, for example. It's pretty good. It looks good, decent on the inside. But if you're looking at the mirrors, like they don't fit properly, for example. Or if you're looking at the inside, maybe it could be a bit higher texture, perhaps. If you look at the reflection, like, a whole bunch of little things. So, anyways, let's go get the autostacker from the shop. Just a quick little journey, so I won't just cut it out. It's weird though. I don't think this map has cars on it, or if they do, they're very they don't show up very often. Because on like Chellington, for example, there are a ton of cars all the time, it seems like. But it's England, it's a smaller place, so perhaps that's the reason why. Alright, let's grab the autostacker, which should be around the corner. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Perfect. Let's go in cab here for a second and not run into the fence. That would probably be helpful. Alright, here we go. I love how they have the 3-point hitch right there, so you can kind of line it up a little bit. It makes attaching things a lot easier. Now, I have mentioned this before, I do have the manual attaching mod, but I think it's conflicting with something else, and I'm not exactly sure what, because last time I tried to use the manual attaching mod, totally crashed my game, so I am going to avoid using it for the time being, until I decide to do some sleuthing and figure out what the actual problem is. But until then, we'll go from there. So right now I have the Massey Ferguson. He's currently just planting corn, because that's all we can plant, really. And also we mowed that grass, but I don't know what you guys would like to do with it yet. And that's partially because I'm recording this before you have time to answer. Because I always like recording in advance, so that's just one of my own little things. Alright, so is it this? It is that. Okay, perfect. Alright, so let's get to collecting these bales. So these have been sitting here for a while now, and as I mentioned, if we leave them out much longer, what's going to happen is we're going to run into problems because it's going to rain, and we're not going to make as much money from it. So we really need to make sure we get these before it rains, or else we're definitely going to lose money. And right now we kind of need a little bit of money. We're kind of hurting a little bit. After buying this, it's not going to make our lives any easier. One of the nice things, though, if you look carefully in our rearview mirror there, you can actually see the table going up, which is really nice, and you'll see you can actually see the bale in place there, which is kind of cool. So, nice little addition there. There, if you watch carefully, table goes up. In reality, it'd be it's fairly easy to check these things, but in Farm Sim, it's a little bit more cumbersome. Like in reality, you would just look back. But looking back in Farm Sim looks like this. Not the smoothest motion. Oh man. But it is possible. Track IR is, you can get Track IR to work with Farm Sim. I have not picked up Track IR because it is expensive in Canada. That's what I get for being a Canadian, I guess. I have to deal with Canadian prices, and right now the Canadian dollar is a little low. So anything I want to buy that's in USD, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. Perfect. I don't know how many bales we have here. I don't think we actually have that many. Like, I mean, in total is what I'm referring to. I don't think we actually have, I know we have more than 16, but I don't think it's a crazy amount more than 16. Well, I don't know. I can check, actually. We can do it this way. This is the easiest way of checking. With our statistics, 58 bales. So, not that many. It's only, like, what, 3 loads? Technically. So we need to find the sell point, and most farms have a sell point right on the farm, which would be nice. But there have been some farms that don't have that, which has been on the more annoying side. You live and learn, I guess. Is that the end of it? I think we can get 2 more in here. Anyways, what I'll do is I'll gather the rest of the bales here, and I'll go to the sell point. Alright, just finished collecting all the bales. Just heading to the sell point now. Apparently it's the high school. Just looking at the information, and they say it's the high school, so we're going to find out if that's the case or not. We're helping out the local ag department by doing this, by the way. So, that's what they claim. So, I can dig it. We just need to find out where it is. See you in a sec. Alright, so we're at the local high school, and I think this looks like the sell point right there. We're going to find out here in a second. Just going to do a little bit of a U-turn, drive over some weeds. I don't think they'll mind. And I'm pretty sure the sell point is right in front of the door here. So what we're going to do is just line up a little bit and see if we can't sell them right here. It seems like the right place, but sometimes things are deceiving. So what we'll do is we'll get the table ready, so to speak. They call it a table, so. And hopefully this is the right spot. That'd be a crazy amount of hay too, or straw, sorry. So everybody says it is perfect. There we go, a little bit of money. It's not so bad. Keeps us in check. So that is indeed the sell point on Valley East USA. So if you're playing along with this map or playing along with the Let's Play, that's where you can sell it right there. They don't make it obvious though. Some places do, or some maps will, some maps don't. It really depends on the map itself. I know, for example, OEB guys, they make it very obvious. They put like a big red and black rectangle around the sell point, which makes it really easy to find. I actually found that by using console commands. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. If you do, great. Console commands basically allow you to do some of the developer things. So for example, finding triggers, which can be helpful. So anyways, I'll meet you back in the field. Alright, so we're back in the field, and looks like we just made it. We're just getting it to just the right point, because now it's just starting to rain, which is not good for us, because these bales will degrade and they won't be worth as much money. I don't know how long it'll take for them to degrade, but if they stay out in the rain for an extended period of time, they are definitely, the quality of the bales is definitely going to go down, so we're not going to make nearly as much money. So I'm going to try and get these off as fast as possible. Race against time. A lot of times it's not. With rain and straw, it's not as big an issue, because usually straw is used for bedding, of course. But if you're using it, if this were to happen to hay, for example, and it was square bales, wouldn't be a good day. Primarily because squares tend to absorb the water a lot more. And what happens is, it's kind of weird, because like you can, depending on the animal you're feeding it to, like if you're feeding like hay to horses, for example, horses tend to be really picky when it comes to what they eat. But if you're feeding, I believe, would be sheep. Sheep aren't nearly as picky, and I think cows will eat it, but what will happen is it may not be good for the cow. That's usually what happens in that context, is the cow just, it will eat it, but it's not good for the cow. That's usually the case, at least, so. Alright, so looks like we're going to have a few bales left out in the field for a little bit longer than we want. Oh, we're full? Oh wow, that was quick. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh shoot. I want to abort. I think it's, is it X to abort? That's not what I wanted to do at all. Abort. Is it B, really? No, I didn't think so. There we go. I need to change that. For some reason I have the tooltip help as for like gamepads, and it's never that. It's not that at all. Unload bales. No, I don't want to unload the bales. For some reason it wants to stay down. Oh, weird. Anyways, I'll meet you back in the sell point. Alright, we're just back at the sell point now. I'm going to sell this load of bales here. And there we go. Unload those, the guys there. That should be far enough back. Perfect. It's too bad it doesn't show you how much you make in total. It just shows you that you made 70. Ah well. Alright. So we have one more load to go, and then we'll be done with the bales. So we've made a little bit of money, but now at least we can use our field again. And those bales have been sitting there for a while now, so it'll be good to be able to use that field again. I think what we'll do is we could plant corn or sugar beets there, perhaps. We don't technically have a sugar beet harvester, but we could rent one, and that's a possibility. So, I don't know. We'll see. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should plant sugar beets there and maybe rent a harvester for it? Or do you think we should plant something else there? Because technically the only other thing we can plant is corn. So, could just plant the whole farm in corn. But in reality, what we need to do is we need to get another seeder and another header, because we only have one header, and that only works with corn. There we go. Sheesh. Alright, so let's do a little test here. Let's just check to see what the actual price of the bales is, to see if they've actually diminished. Because they've been out in the rain for a little bit. I'm curious to see what the price is. So let's go check on this bale right here. So if they stay out for an extended period of time, the price should decrease. So still A+ for the time being, but it hasn't been very long yet. So if it were out for a long time, out in the rain, then the price would surely decrease. So I think what we'll have to do is collect these bales up and sell these, and then I think what we're gonna have to do is well, we have a baler now at least, and we have something that can actually collect the bales. Originally the idea was to get a front loader, but this works actually a bit better because then we don't need to buy an extra tractor as well, because we have tractors that can pull this particular trailer, but not necessarily a tractor that's powerful enough to lift big squares. Alright, let's get this bale right here, and then get these ones over here. Excellent. Yeah, so this should be the actual last load, so I'll meet you back when I have the last few bales. So apparently my math is off today, and it wasn't 3, it was actually 4 loads. Go figure. Should have realized this. It's never as easy as you want it to be. But that's okay. A few more bales is good for us. It means we make a little bit more money. For some reason in my mind it was only 3 loads. I don't know why. Maths. Jeez. Must be early in the morning for me. Or not enough coffee. Speaking of coffee break. Oh, coffee's so good. Alright, let's get this, and this should be the last few bales right here. Let's just turn around. I love how much quieter it is in cab. It's funny, when you're combining, I find that's where I tend to notice the sound difference the most. Oops, that's a bale there I'm totally missing. When I'm combining, that's when I definitely notice the sound difference the most. It's really strange. And it also depends on the combine as well, because some combines are a little bit quieter than others. Is that it? I think it's all of them. Yep, looks like it. Perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell this last little bit, and I think what we'll do is we'll call that an episode. And what I'll do is I'll get the Massey Ferguson out there, and I'll get him cultivating, depending how you want to say it, that field there, and then we'll be able to use it finally. After I don't know how long. I don't know, this is what, 6 episodes, so it's been a few days in game, perhaps, and perhaps a few hours in real life. I think that's what it would be in the end, something like that. Alright. Just gonna go up here to the Valley Co-op. Well, it's not the Valley Co-op, it's the high school, technically. We'll sell this. Too bad the wipers don't work, though. Not in this one. If I were in... I should check the Massey Ferguson to see if the wipers work in that. The windshield wipers. Because sometimes, some mods, they'll have it so it works, and other mods have it so it doesn't. Don't know why. Alright, let's get the table tilting. And the way the map creator made this is that you can basically, you don't need to put them in the barn itself, which I thought was the original case, and I was like, oh really, you have to put them in the barn? That's unfortunate. but you could pretty much put them like right there, and it's fine as well. Perfect. Let's go check on the Massey. Windshield wipers, no. Apparently that wheel is still up. As you can see, he's just finishing up. He's doing a few more passes, and then he's good to go. And I think, folks, that'll be it. Hopefully that'll be good for the trees. That'll be it for me for today, folks. My name is Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Valley East, USA. And if you enjoyed yourself, why don't you go ahead and hit that share button. Catch you guys later.